Stop chasing. Look, it's Marcel, aka Honey Bunny Sunny, and you know I'm on a mission to make you some money. Okay? If you are new, if this is your first time, first of all, say thank you. Say thank you, God. I appreciate you for helping me find this video. All right? I'm on a mission to make you some money. All right? In this video, in this live, I'm going to make sure that I show you something that's forming that you may be able to get into today, possibly tomorrow. All right? Now, for those of you who were on the live yesterday, today you have real proof of exactly what we talked about yesterday panning out. Okay? MRK, currently down, I think, close to 2%. Amazon, currently down over 2%. We're going to go over that play, exactly how it panned out. I'm going to show you the re-entry points, what I'm seeing for tomorrow and beyond. We also going to go over a couple of other plays, right, that, you know, that are starting to form on the, on the Keltner channel Bollinger Band setup that I showed you all. And then I'm also going to take some requests, anything that y'all want to see. All right, so who we got up in here today, man? Michael, what up, brother? I see you. Big Sean, peace, man. How you feeling? QTZ, I see you. James, what's going on, man? It says, should we still be in the AMD swing? No, we took. Well, if you were in the group, you know that I missed it because I was, on another call. But I told everybody to get in. Most people took profits because they were up like, I think I screenshotted some of these. People were up like 185%. You know what I mean? Like 90%. So yeah, no, I mean, with that type of move, it was like, go ahead and get out of there. It gapped up and it did 6% on the day. So when things like that happen, that's another like caveat that I want to add to swinging with this particular strategy. So when we find a beautiful swing setup, right, you got to start understanding like, okay, if the market makes a ridiculous move, the best move for me to make is a rational. All right. When the market makes a ridiculous move, the best thing for me to do is make a rational one. So when the market makes a ridiculous move and you in profit the very next day, you go ahead and take those off. Go ahead and take them off. And I'm going to tell you why. When you go ahead and you take them off, now you done locked in your profits. And now you have the opportunity to let the market, take back what it did because it's coming to its senses now. And it's like, holy shit, we went way too far. We pumped way too quick. It's going to come back to its senses. It's probably going to fill the gap or something like that. And it still may hold its structure. If it does all of that and it holds its structure, then guess what? You got another chance to enter on the same move. And now it's probably going to make the move in the manner that it's supposed to. That's the beautiful thing about trading when we see certain setups. Sometimes when we get a beautiful setup, the market overreacts to it. Like that setup we saw yesterday, like I said, the triple bottom on AMD at the tip of the Bollinger Band, at the order block. You know what I'm saying? Like Keltner channel inside, it was a bullish engulfing. It's too many things that was saying go up. So everybody's seeing this, and the market is like, all right, yeah, it's time for AMD to go up. $200 psychological level that it also tested and failed, right? Bounced right off of 200. So when you see that, it's like, okay, and then the very next day it gives you 6%, you won. You won. It pumped so hard, it went above the retracement level, which was the middle of the Bollinger Band. Like it's currently like almost to the other extreme of the Bollinger Band at the top side. So that money was made. What we'll do is we'll wait for, like I said, a pullback or something else to happen with it. We caught Amazon this morning. We were rational, right? It made a nice move. We all got out, I think, like 30%. If you stayed in, you probably wound up making a honey bun. You know what I mean? But it was no point of even, dealing with the up and down because we always have another chance to re-enter. So I'm gonna get into that in just a second about exactly what I'm watching on Amazon, AMD, even MRK, and then we'll get into a couple of other ones too. Who else we got up in here? India, what's going on, India? Yvonne, good to see you. Good to see you. You said you got in late. Oh, Were you able to make any sort of profit though? Who else we got in here? 6 Mile Down. What up though? Darrell, man, what's up? Brittany, good to see you in here. Dr. V. Who else? Good. Yeah, we got a good one ahead. Okay. I'm gonna get into it in just a second. Um, where y'all chiming in from? Just want to make sure I know who's in the building. Type your city in. Let me know your city. Vaughn says she's still in. Best Beezy, what up, man? It's about to be a good one, yo. Here go the thing. Like I said, like we said today on the call, between these daily, what we call in during the day live early in the morning, y'all gonna be rich, man. I'm trying to tell you. And I'm not a person that just I don't just waste words. I don't just say stuff for no reason. You know what I mean? Like I truly feel that like all of y'all joining at this time, you know what I mean? Like y'all joined the TPC and y'all catching me and Zay where we are right now, y'all gonna rise with us. Watch. Yeah, MRK went crazy. We got Houston in the house, North Carolina, Orlando, Tulsa. Okay. Beautiful. Miss Virgo, how you feeling? Kent, what up, man? Clifford, what's going on, brother? Pittsburgh in the building. Yeah. Hey, Best B, what happened to Pitt, man? What happened to the Steelers, man? I had them going all the way. I had them going all the way. You got that right, Yvonne. That's look in the beginning. What all we had was the word, right? So everything that we see around us was manifested through the word. So you always keep that in mind. That's why it's like be careful with your words and stand on your word. You do those two things, you'll be all right in this world. Pixel, how you feeling? No, why? We got a lot of people in Houston, man. We got a lot of people in Houston. We got to come mess with y'all pretty soon. I got some fam out there. I might have to come mess with y'all. Hold on, he stepped down. So he didn't get fired. He was just like, I didn't honor my word. Like I couldn't pull it off because I know they've been chasing. He got a Super Bowl, but I know they've been chasing the Super Bowl for a while. And I know he probably feel like if he can't get a Super Bowl, then maybe I don't know. Maybe he felt like he ain't. Maybe he felt like he failed him or something. I don't know. All right. Chlorophyll, by the way. If y'all were wondering, it's not it's not Kool-Aid. I want that quarterback from Indiana. Yeah, that would be good for y'all. Yeah, Sanders would be solid. Detroit, what up, man? What up, though? What up, though? All right, let's get into it, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up what I'm looking at, because I know y'all wondering like, okay, what we doing about Amazon? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna start with Amazon and show you what we doing about Amazon. I go from Amazon to AMD. We'll look at MRK, and it was a couple of other ones, and then I'll take whatever request y'all have. So whatever y'all want to see, I'll make sure we cover it. All right. All right. So let's get into it. All right. Y'all see that? Can y'all see my screen? Just let me know if y'all can see the screen. All right. All right, y'all. So I got Amazon pulled up right here. Now, this was the play of the day. This was what I called on my watch list earlier today, and what I was seeing here was very simple. This is you don't have to keep these indicators on all the time, but this is a practice, and write this down. Make this a habit, okay? Every day, cut your Bollinger Band and your Keltner channel on, just so that you can see where we are, right? When it's at the edge up here, we usually greed on the fear and greed index. It's usually going to line up with neutral when we're here in the middle. It's usually going to line up with fear when we're down here. That's just typically how it goes, okay? You want to be looking at this on the daily time frame. All right, so once a day, just your watch list, go through your watch list and just check. Like, damn, what's hugging the outside of the Bollinger Band? Like, what's rejecting off the Bollinger Band? That's going to give you a really good idea of what's getting ready to happen with that stock. Then you can go and look on the weekly and see if it's matching up with the story that's being told on the weekly, right? Then you can also, this is how I analyze, right? I'm just trying to give you guys, because I want y'all to be, brilliant at this, with time. So you never want to just focus on one thing. You always want to try to create as big of a story as possible. It's some people that take a negative approach, like they try to see as many reasons why this won't go wrong. I think that's important for really long-term trades, to think about why something could go wrong. But you want to have as many things that support it going right. So when you have the Bollinger Bands on, you can clearly see what the market sentiment is, like where the exhaustion is happening and stuff like that. So you want to know that. You want to compare it to the weekly, right? You want to also compare it to what's going on in the news. You want to also think about what cycles we're currently in. Like, are we in a cycle where where tech has been on a run and it's exhaustion across the board, right? You want to also go look at SPY. Typically, if we're looking at some sort of tech stock, that stock is also on SPY. So that's also going to give us a little bit of an idea of what is getting ready to happen with the market, right? You also want to be familiar with, the company itself. Like, how does the company itself move? What's the company's revenue like? Just like all the little fundamental stuff that we think is not important, right? If you can always have that on your mind, right? Looking at the fundamentals, you don't have to do every day, but when you're talking about longer term plays, you want to make sure that you're just aware of how they've been performing, or a pattern that's taking place in their financials. So some people think that a company has to be in profit all the time. I'd be the first to tell you that companies don't always work like that, right? I mean, you have some a very small percentage of companies that are always in profit, but on the year, but it's not always gonna work like that. Sometimes you'll have a really good opportunity in a stock that's down, but there's a pattern of consistent growth, and they're targeting a date where they will be profitable. So if you see a sort of trend, that's actually an even better opportunity with certain stocks, because a lot of people have forgotten about it. You know what I mean? Just think about, in your life, you might have made some mistakes in a certain area you low-key feel forgotten about, but you know what you're doing. You know the work that you're putting in, and they just don't know what's coming. You know what I mean? So it's the same way with certain companies that can provide a really big opportunity to the upside if you can notice a little trend in their financials. I do this on a quarterly basis. I'm always looking for that little company that somebody forgot about, or that bigger company that somebody forgot about, right? AMD, for example, was that company that people forgot about last year. I was telling everybody about AMD last year. Some of your favorite gurus were saying they was finished. And you see where AMD is right now, and you see where it's headed. So that's just a little something to keep in mind. So with Amazon, right? We could have stayed in it, but we got out when we, at a good profit. It's cool, right? What I'm seeing here is the order block is sitting right here in this mean reversion, right? So this should be coming down to this area. Now, here's how we want to play it. Pay attention to this, y'all. This is very important. Now, I do not recommend getting into this in the last 10 minutes of the market. And I'm going to tell you why. A lot of times So this right now is down like 1.92. The most I saw this down was like maybe like 2.30, 40% or something like that. So Amazon came down pretty significantly. You can see that the distance of this is I mean it's much larger than all of these candles, right? These three candles, it engulfs all of it. If you were to slide that up and compare it, it's a much bigger move, right? Yes, it does have room to come all the way down here, but we got a ton of institutional buyers right here. You see it starting to bounce already, right? A lot of people are going to be taking profits. It's going to be a lot of people taking profits, a lot of people waiting to the end of the day to take profits. We may even see this pump a little bit more. Or it could also close at the low, like go back and retest it, close at the low. The reason that I say we wait until tomorrow is because a lot of times when a big move like this is made, it tries to fake you out the next day, right? The swing traders that held, the visionaries, like the people that saw the full move that we were talking about, earlier today, right? So you could see this open somewhere like around 243 tomorrow, right? It could go up a couple of dollars. It's still coming down. All right? It's still coming down, but I do believe that we could get a better entry. All right? We may not. It may fall today and then continue falling even first thing in the morning. That could happen, but it's okay because we've made our money. It's cool. What I'm trying to position you for is the absolute best entry without the chance of you getting, you having a drawdown of like 50% tomorrow, especially since tomorrow is Wednesday and we're losing time in the week. You know what I'm saying? Again, you could swing this out longer to minimize the drawdown, but I think the best time to enter this is going to be tomorrow after we get a slight pump in the morning, right? And we fail, we start to fail. Like we say 15-minute orb is what we're watching, and then we get a little pump to the upside, maybe come between 243, 244, and then start failing. That's when you're going to see that wick sitting about right here, and it's going to fall right into this pocket right here, right in between these little things right here. We should definitely see Amazon at like 235, right? But again, I'm not going to swing this today. This is a confirmation candle, but I'm just basing this off of pattern recognition and things that I've seen a lot. If this move would have been like right here, if it would have came to like 243 and stopped right there for confirmation, then I would have been like, oh yeah, that's our confirmation candle. But since it's moved, like it's currently moved $5, but on the day it moved like maybe like $6 at some point, six something, close to $7. That's a huge move. So I just don't trust the very next day it going straight down with no interruptions. So that's my move for Amazon. I wouldn't recommend entering that today, but let's see what it does tomorrow. I'll be back in the group. It'll probably be on my watch list in the morning. We'll I'll be monitoring it to see like just what it does in the pre-market. But like I said, if we can get a slight pop, this will be a nice little ride down into the 230s right in this this bullish order block. All right, so that's Amazon. Let me flip back to y'all, see what y'all talking about. Okay, cool. Did anybody who in here called Amazon today? All right, we're gonna flip over to AMD. Man, AMD was a smoker, man. It was a smoker. I'm still like, matter of fact, I still gotta call that person back and be like, look, we should have had this meeting another time. Cause that would have been about 10,000 right there. That would have been about 10,000 right there. All right, so AMD, this is what happened today again. We were on here yesterday talking about this bullish engulfing. Take a picture of this. If you ever see this setup, y'all, like if you ever see a setup of a double bottom or a triple bottom down at the bottom of a Bollinger Band and then a bullish engulfing, like it is such a beautiful setup and it shoots up, right? All right, so what's the play on this? It's already gone past the mean reversion, which is right here, the center. It's way above that. It could absolutely come up and retest highs. Do I think that that's going to happen tomorrow? I don't know. I think we might possibly um, come back and fill the gap. That's a possibility. When I see a move, like I said, just like I said on Amazon, when a move that's this big happens the very next day, it's like collect your money and then just wait for a better opportunity. Because the whole name of the game is like risk to reward, right? Risk to reward ratio. So you want your reward to always be higher than your risk. So if you're risking $100, you should be at least trying to make $200. And when I say risk, I'm talking about like the amount that you're willing to lose, not leverage. Leverage is what you're putting up. Risk is what you're willing to lose, right? So you put up 1,000, willing to lose 100 to make 200. So the bigger a move is, the less reward there is, because again, the Bollinger Band is right here. Now that's still a lot of room, right? But it's also Wednesday, right? You also got like next week to consider. So it's not this made a move that's about 3 days long. This is like a 3-day upward move. So this could have been 3 bullish candles to get to where it is right here. So when you see that, you gotta think like that. Like, damn, like this is you talking about $15. Go research what the average movement on AMD is in any direction. Let's say it's $5. If it's $5 on average, it moves a day. That means this is 3 times the normal movement. So that is a irrational play. So what you have to do, you got to be rational about it and decide to take your money and then wait for the market to relax again. You know what I'm saying? Anytime we get excited about the market being irrational, right? That's when we lose. And I don't want y'all to lose money. All right. So that's AMD. I don't recommend getting in this until tomorrow. Again, I'm not saying that it can't work out, but what I'm giving you is the likely scenario and putting you on the side of safety, right? You can always get back in. You made your money, but let's see what it does tomorrow. And I'll be back on here, with another live tomorrow, giving you the play and letting you know like what we should be doing, based on this movement. All right, let's go to MRK. Just such beautiful setups today, and then we'll talk about something that that possibly can be entered today after this one. Look at that. So MRK came down. MRK came down beautifully. It bounced a little bit. So yeah, the confirmation was yesterday. So we got its confirmation candle. So that's why I called it to enter it. The target for this is down here at the mean. So again, this also made a pretty decent move. But with this wick right here, if it closes like that, I don't like any sort of continuation. This might actually even reverse and try to go back and retest yesterday's highs. So if you made money in MRK and took profits, like you're good. This is not something that I'd be interested in entering again. Another thing that I also noticed on MRK is that you see how it kind of like it comes down around the center, and it doesn't really touch the the band, the center band. And the reason is because it is still in a uptrend. I mentioned that on the Sunday call, right? It's still in a matter of fact, not even just an uptrend, it's still in this breakout right here. So that's another thing to remember when y'all are trading, right? Sometimes there are pullbacks in breakouts, right? But this is what the market wants to do. Sometimes we might think that like the market trying to trick you or whatever, right? Or the market, it's a pump faking. Sometimes it's you just forgot what the setup was. You know what I'm saying? So with MRK, like yeah, it could come down and retest 106. Like that's still realistic, but understand that it's not a break of structure until it breaks 106. Even though it's pulled back and we took puts and did a what's called a counter trade, it is still in an uptrend. And it's still in a, like I said, beyond the uptrend, it's in a breakout because this is the bull flag right here, right? This is the distance. It's not the bull flag. This is the distance of the bull flag's target. So we, the bull flag is over here. We showed that. We called that play. We made plenty of money on that play too. But then we added the measured move, which is the flagpole of the bull flag, to the breakout. So again, this is still in play. MRK is still in play, for 122, especially if we start to see some, some reversals across the market with, like SPY, Palantir, all of that stuff, right? So yeah, MRK, I wouldn't touch this because we have not eliminated the upside potential yet. So I would not touch this. I would just leave that alone. Enjoy your profit. All right, let's see what else we got. Who was it? Tesla I wanted to look at. And y'all be sure to write in the chat what y'all want to see. All right. So I like the setup on Tesla, y'all. This is going to be I believe this is a beautiful bear flag setup. So it came up, it came down, tapped the lower extreme of the Bollinger Band, came back up, retested the center, and now it has a one candle inside, right? This is not a full confirmation, but it is a sign that it's exhausting. So what I would be watching for Tesla is a confirmation candle tomorrow. So you will probably see this on my watch list tomorrow to the downside. It doesn't really matter so much how this closes. I don't see this in the next hour and a half changing much. It'll probably just consolidate and fizzle out and stay, in this particular shape. But if we open up like slightly green tomorrow, like maybe like right here around 448, 449, somewhere in that area that's still lower than the center band, and still around the VWAP, what I be doing is looking for failures, right? And make sure you just draw out your your bear flag, right? So this is how I draw my bear flags, just so y'all clear. It's not always going to be perfect. That's the thing about trading is art. It's like what you see. You know what I mean? What do you see? Sometimes what you see is not what somebody else sees, and sometimes it really is there. You know what I mean? So I just try to take this and attach it to at least 2 points, right? We can even bring this in like this. 2 points. And it don't got to be perfect, you know what I'm saying? But look at that. That's a bear flag. So what we'll be watching for on this is, like I said, a confirmation candle tomorrow. And I like to play confirmation candles. Like I like to, some people say that that's like early entry, but I'm like, well, if we're waiting on the confirmation, we can enjoy the confirmation, and then we can re-enter or stay in the play for the next day. You just got to understand how to know when it's time to get out, or if that structure is not being held. So with this, like I said, as long as we can stay below this high right here, we're good. If you're going with the riding the confirmation tomorrow, right? Not entering today. Here is the structure of the bear flag. So we also could go even higher. It could actually even break this high. It could come up to as high as right here. 457.50 pretty much. And y'all have noticed, like 50 and 0 you always tend to see some sort of decision at those levels. When something ends in a 0 or a 50, it's typically like something is going to happen right there, because that's just how people be thinking. Like just even Steven, simple, easily, easy numbers to remember, psychological levels. All right. So I'm gonna wait on this one until tomorrow. But man, if we can fail to the upside and then come down here and get a confirmation to the downside tomorrow, man, this we could see this come pretty low. Matter of fact, let me draw this out for y'all. So this is the measured move. I want y'all to get in the habit of doing this. All right. So this is the distance of the bear flag. All right. That's the distance. That's me drawing it from the very high to the very low of when that down move started. All right. And then we're going to attach it to the breakout. And we just going to assume that it might happen, tomorrow or Thursday. So we can just put it around there. And of course, you're not married to this place. You can adjust it like as you need as the market develops. So you'll see that we could see Tesla down here, and and look at where the measured move happens to be, right at an order block. As y'all continue to do this, you're going to start connecting the dots. It's like a little puzzle. That's what confluence is, right? It's like you may have an idea about something, and then you'll find that by you measuring it and then like looking at what the possible targets could be, those things are also going to be lined up with something else, right? I encourage you guys to have your order blocks, the Lux Algo. There's a free version or a paid version. The free version is just fine, right? Throw on your Keltner channels and your Bollinger Bands. You don't got to have it on the whole time, but when you're looking to make a decision, cut them on, right? Measure your distances on your bear flags and your bull flags. It's going to tell you exactly how much room you possibly have to go. Figure out at what point along that distance you want to take your profits. Divide it into threes, right? If something is supposed to come all the way down to 370, you can divide it into threes to take your first profit. When you get a breakout of a bear flag, the first obvious target is always going to be the low for a bear flag. So right here, it break out of that tomorrow, first target going to be what? 423.62. And that's probably slightly off just because of where my mouse is. I don't know. But you get what I'm saying, right? And then if it breaks below that, then okay, we just play that next level. Play that next level. We talking about down to 384. So it looks like the second target is where the order block begins, and the third target is right where it ends. Again, this is slightly off, so it could be almost exact. This is how precise the market can be sometimes. When you start to put these things together, you're going to build your confidence, and you're not going to feel like the market is attacking you personally. Once you get into that flow and really start understanding how all this stuff connects, you are going to be a beast. You are going to be able to just live how you want to live. You know what I'm saying? Like staying calm is the biggest thing that you can do in anything, right? I learned this about everything in life. Yes, I'm on one of my tangents right now, right? If you can stay calm, you win. That's in everything, all right? So like even in Amazon this morning, I know there was a lot of people, when we entered, off the break. I said it before the market even started. I'm like, early, we're gonna have an early entry on Amazon. Said that. I know there was some people that was just like, oh man, it's going back up. Even me being human, I'm like, oh, I don't like this bounce, right? So it's even me being human, but I'm like, you know what? It's going down though, because this is the setup, and I know where I'm getting out, so there's never anything to worry about. So identifying where you're going to get out, identify where you're going, is just like literally being in a car and being as sure as to where you're driving. Hey, I'm about to go to the store real quick. I'll be back. It's the same thing. What you worried about? Could something go wrong? Could you get in an accident? Yeah, but Who's thinking about getting in an accident the whole time they driving? That's torture. I don't want to live like that. You know what I'm saying? So stay calm. And the more you understand, the calmer you'll be. All right? Let me see what y'all talking about. What do y'all want to see? American Khalifa, what up, man? Love to have you on here, Andrea. Yeah, I have some videos on Bollinger Bands. What I'll do is I'll drop it in the group. All right, I'll drop it in the group for you so you can see it. Let me know what y'all want to see. I just went over like three or four stocks. Let me know some stocks that y'all want to see that we could possibly take entries on before the end of the day. Tesla, definitely, y'all. Keep your eye on Tesla. That joint going to drop. If it breaks out of the bear flag. I just laid it. You just got in here, Zay? I just laid it down, man. We watching Tesla. Tesla on a bear flag on a daily. If we get Tesla to fall out of that bear flag, it could come down to like the 370s area, right? 3 targets on that. The low of the reversal on the bear flag, so the lowest peak of the bear flag, that's gonna be the first target. And then you got a bullish order block, which is going to show you your second and third target, the top of it and the bottom of it. All right. Whenever you're doing a bear flag or bull flag, just take the distance of that up move or down move and attach it to the breakout point of the flag, and that's going to give you your target. And then you just go, you just go 1, 2, 3 target. First target, second target, third target. You got 10 contracts. Take off 7, and take off another one, leave a runner, and then the runner will be the final target. Take majority off first, so that way, if something does go, a little bit against you, or it starts to fade a little bit, it's not eating into your profits. So you want to take majority of the money off always on the first target. All right. Nah, it's all good, Zay. Look, you can watch this back. All right. You can watch this back and see it. But like I said, just a quick, summary. We're not going to enter AMD because AMD already made the move. We're waiting for AMD to come back down so that we can take a better entry. Amazon made a big move today, so we're not going to enter that either, even though it is going to continue coming down. Tomorrow it may pop early in the morning, so we may have a better opportunity to get into it tomorrow. So we're not going to enter it in the last 10 minutes today. We're just going to let it be, rock out with the profits that we already had. All right? So NVIDIA, you want to see NVIDIA? Okay, I'll go look at NVIDIA. Eleanor, how you feeling? Yes. Listen, I'm telling you, look, I'm gonna be here every day at 11:30, Pacific. 12 was it 2:30 y'all time Eastern and Central. I don't know. Y'all do the math, but I think it's important for for me to go live at this time because it's gonna be some days where we got some real good setups, and I'm telling you, them last 10 minutes when we start getting into like a real swing season, right? Like watch in the spring when things start to pan out and we got a lot of things that have gotten to extremes and the market is ready to really go into a different direction. We're going to have some crazy opportunities. So I feel like this time is the best time to just like make sure we lock it in. The market moves in the morning and it moves in the afternoon. So it's like, this is low-key like, second session of the day. At what point would you consider Nike, or would you? Yeah, we made money on Nike last week, Denisha. Let me I'll go look at it for you. I'll go break it down for you. So we got NVIDIA and we got Nike. I'm looking for a swing like, yeah, Zay, listen, swings, I will say this, it's not always the time to swing. And it's like, all right, so these are the critical things about the market that you should the critical ways that you can invest in the market, right? Leaps, right? It's not always the time for leaps, but leaps. Scalps, not always the time for scalps, but scalps. Swings, short-term swings, not always the time for it, but there is covered calls, right? The market is so sophisticated that it allows for all of these to take place at different times. Usually when it's a good swinging market, it's not a good covered call market, right? Because covered calls, we need slow movement and we need like like a inching up or an inching down or a consolidation. When we're swinging, we need big short-term movement, so volatility. With leaps, we need the market to make a really big directional move so that our leap can be in the opposite direction down the road out a year, 2 years, 3 years. All right, so it's like understanding the different strategies of the market at large and when the best time to do it is going to be critical, because you never want to get in the habit of being like, well, I could just do this every single day. All right, so you gotta have an arsenal and a strategy. Like you gotta have your tools and you gotta know when to use them. You know what I mean? Certain situations don't require your gun. You can fight it out sometimes. You know what I mean? It's the same thing in the market. The value y'all give is crazy. With you and Isaiah this time. I appreciate you, Andre. I really do. Apple, Intel. Okay. All right. So let's get into it, y'all. Let's get into it. So we'll go NVIDIA first. Okay. Okay. Okay, Andrea. I see you. I see you. I like this. I like this. Yeah, this is a good one. So I like this because it's right at the center, right? So the three moves that the market makes is from high extreme to center, and from low extreme to center, or from center to high or low extreme. That's the three moves that it can make, right? So since we're sitting at the center of these Bollinger Bands, right, we have a fail to up. If it can close like this, stay below the VWAP, this could be a good swing to come down to this order block. We're talking about close to $10 for the final target. Really beautiful move, really beautiful setup. All right, I do like this one. Now, there's two ways that you can do this. You could go and enter it later on today. Like if it closes like this on a fail to up using the strat method, then you can absolutely enter swings and you can put it out, whatever your risk tolerance is, right? The further out, the less drawdown. So even though this play may happen tomorrow, 2 weeks out, 4 weeks out, whatever, right? That's typically a good time period for these type of moves, for this to go from here to here, here to here, here to here. You see what I'm saying? So intuitively, I would like to see a confirmation on this. I do believe it's going to fall tomorrow, but I want to see a confirmation on this because NVIDIA can be tricky sometimes, just from my experience, right? And the fail to up is not, it doesn't have a wide enough body for me. It's it looks like it could also be forming a doji, which symbolizes indecision, and not always like full reversal. So yes, this is currently a reversal signal technically because it is a fail to up. But like I said, I would like to see tomorrow we close below this low, right? If we can close below this low tomorrow, I like it. Or I like it tomorrow, maybe earlier in the day, to see if it wants to, creep up a little bit. And if it fails the VWAP, we can catch it on the downside. All right. So beautiful play. I like this one, Andrea. Thank you for for submitting this one. Let me see what else y'all got for me. Okay, we got Apple. What's the strategy in getting over 100%? Is there a certain target expiration date? So this what I'm showing you now. This particular swing strategy is when I run these, I typically get 100 or 100%. Like that's literally why like I call myself Honey Bunny Sunny, right? Like it's if I'm swinging, I'm typically getting like 100% on my swings, right? Depending on like what's going on in the market, I'll take less sometimes. But with this particular strategy, it is designed for you to get a double up. So that's if you can figure out ways to consistently double your money when the opportunity presents itself, like I said, y'all gonna be rich before you know it. So yeah, this particular strategy that I'm going over with the Bollinger Band and the Keltner channel, in my opinion, is one of the best for getting 100% on a trade. It won't necessarily happen like all in one day, but it will happen, like over time. Okay. So yeah, Yvonne. All right, Jackie. So we got Apple, Intel. Um, I look at hymns too. Let me write some of these down. Y'all coming with them today. Hold up. So we got all right, Apple, Intel. We got hymns. What else we got? Awesome. Yeah. And yeah, like I said, y'all always feel free, because like I said, the whole part of this, the whole point of this journey is to get y'all talking like this. You know what I'm saying? It's to get y'all like in y'all bag and y'all can like just do this with your eyes closed. So if you see something, like let me know, and I'm gonna let y'all know if y'all, if it's something that's solid. That's gonna take your skill set to a whole nother level. So never be shy about speaking up. I find that the people that speak up typically wind up doing the best. All right, PA, and W. All right, bet. All right, let's get it. Ooh, ooh. Who said Apple? I like this. I like this. It's not quite ready yet, but I do like it because the risk to reward is insane. All right, y'all see what did I tell y'all about the mean reversion? Right? Do y'all see how these order like I get so fired up about this because it's like the shit just start making sense and clicking when you really just line things up. You see how the order block or institutions, they're sitting right here at the inner part of the Bollinger Bands, right? The middle part. That's exactly where the bearish order block is sitting. This is where they want to slam it at, right? So this move could easily retrace to the center, which is what it's supposed to do. Will it happen tomorrow? Do we enter today? No, we don't enter today. This definitely needs confirmation. We're seeing we got the failed two down, right? And it's continued to make a higher high and a higher low, but we don't have the volume, right? You see how small these candles are? We don't have the volume to really substantiate getting into this right here. So what I would like to see is just more volume coming into this. We could see an explosion tomorrow. Again, I don't have a crystal ball, but like I said, keeping y'all on the safe side of things, I would like to see this break above here with a fuller body. You know what I mean? And then once we do that, and this might actually be a better day trade, because I could see something like this breaking on like the hourly, breaking like 261.81 on the hourly, and then like riding that up into this order block, taking profit, and then seeing if it wants to break through the order block. If it can break through the order block and get a bullish confirmation above the mean, then it may want to go and retrace all the way up the highs. All right. However, since this is where institutions are sitting, billions of dollars, right? That may be an opportunity to actually like take it to the downside. So this is where a major decision will be made. If it breaks it, you'll see this red bearish order block disappear. If it starts to fail here, right, this is a lot of volume. So then it'll probably be a reversal somewhere here and then the confirmation. But of course, we'll be live. We'll go over it when it presents itself. But I do like this maybe over the next day or two for entry. All right, so that's Apple. Let's go to Intel, man. Intel made me like a triple honey bun the other day. Let's go to Intel. Intel is a good one. They've been going crazy. They've been going silly. All right. Intel Corporation. All right. Let me see something. Intel day after day has been making ridiculous moves. Let me see something though, because I want to. You see this beautiful double bottom that they formed. This is what a double bottom can do. It came in right, and then it went crazy. I'm just trying to see like historical levels real quick. Like, are we? I'm just trying to see if are we recovering historical levels, or are these like just all time highs? Okay, okay. I see what's going on here. Yeah, just a little lag on the screen. Um, okay. Yeah. All right. So I see what's going on here. Intel Intel may be trying to it may be trying to go back and retest highs. Y'all see that? So we got high like highs is like at about 50 what? Like 51. We talking about back in 2004. This is another thing that y'all gotta like whenever there's a company that is like going on a run, right? And you like, man, they just breaking out, and you can't quite understand it. You gotta look to the left. I want to always emphasize this. Really take your time to contract your screens, your charts. I'm sorry, so that you can see, 1, 2, 3 years ago, to see like why this may be doing that. Because in recent history, it might look like Intel is just making, all new highs, right? But what it's doing is it finally broke a specific level that might have been from, a couple years ago, and now it's, now it's going on to the next level. So when you see these breakouts, they're not random. It's typically because like, okay, it finally broke past a level that it couldn't get past in a very long time. So just make sure that you're taking your time to, look over to the left. So yeah, this could go to 51, but that's highs. And since that is like a historical high, we talking about back in 2004. When it hits that, it's probably gonna fall pretty hard, right? So I'm gonna do this. Bring this over. Man, trading view is acting weird right now. All right. So this is at the upper extremity of the Bollinger Band, y'all. So it can go to about 51, which will be the next level of resistance. If it breaks 51, it's coming up here into this bearish order block around 60. Even though based on technicals, remember I was telling you about the swing strategy, this 25K strategy. Even though this is hugging the matter of fact, this is a really good teaching moment too. Even though this is hugging the upper extreme of the Bollinger Band, I would not try to counter this to the downside, and I would not bet on it getting a mean reversion down to 40. And the reason why is because it's on a run right now. Right? It's on the run. When something is on the run, it throws out some of the rules about the market, right? And it goes into the rules of the historical chart. So since it's broken past certain levels, it's almost like order of operations. It's more likely that it's going to make it to those levels that it's trying to recover to before it reverts back to where it needs to be based off of technicals. You see what I'm saying? So would I bet it to the upside? I don't know if I bet it to the upside either because, like I said, 51 is not super far. It is still quite a distance, just based off the relativity of the price point. But I don't like, like taking plays that have already had multiple, 5, 10%, 8% days back to back. When it's had several of those, I'm like, you know what? I could kind of leave this alone. So Intel could definitely continue, but I would be more interested Intel on the day trading side. And I definitely wouldn't counter it. I would not get caught up trying to short a moving train like this. So that's Intel for y'all. Matter of fact, I may put it on the watch list, or talk about it in the group tomorrow, so that we can see exactly what's going on. But this, like I said, we made money on it last week from swinging it, but it's continued. Like after I took profit at 300%, I didn't think it was going, do another 7% today. That's crazy. So yeah, I'm a hold off on Intel, but it is a decent setup, and when it does finally hit that level around 51, that could be a good opportunity to short it. All right, all right. So you said Hems. Hmm. Why not have it on my watch list? All right, so we're gonna do Hems. Let me check in with y'all real quick. Yeah, I'm about to look at Hems in just a second. It said yesterday's fell two down. Yep, yep. Barry, hey Barry, Barry said call him Barry. Barry, what do you say? Barry Bezos. Yeah, that red block is the order block. Yep, Zay. Yep. Also fair value gap. Exactly. Yep. New beginnings. How are you, Liz? How you feeling today? Good to have you on the live. All right, so we got Hems pulled up. Ooh, let's see. Yeah. Y'all calling some good ones, man. Let's see. So this is what I would do with Hems. What I be waiting for with hymns is I would when y'all have a chance, y'all go and draw. I want y'all to get in the habit of this. Draw. This is kind of like a falling wedge, right? Like this has a very sharp downward momentum. Um, I wouldn't be so quick to get hymns to the upside just yet. It has a failed 2D. I'm sorry, I failed 2 up. I'm making this bigger so y'all can see it. It has this failed 2 up, but yesterday was a failed 2 down, right? So it did make money today, but it came down. So it's probably closing, it's closing a lot lower than what it opened. So anybody that swung this off the failed 2 down, made good money. Um, yeah, this is also another thing that when you see a failed 2 up and a failed 2 down next to each other, that's another version of indecision, right? So I would wait until tomorrow to see what this does to get some sort of confirmation. If we can break below, yesterday or today's lows tomorrow, that could mean that it may want to come down and retest, the low uh, of $29.97 or $30, and then a break of that would mean it's ready to fall to hell. You know what I'm saying? So if it breaks that, it's ready to like shoot down. But I got a feeling that it's going to find some sort of support inside of this candle tomorrow. Maybe even might even have an inside candle, and then it goes up and then retest the center of this Bollinger Band. But yeah, just based off of this technical right here. So here's the thing: like when you see a failed 2D or a failed 2 up, it's not always like okay, I see it, I'm taking it, right? Sometimes you just need to see like, okay, I see that, but what else is going on in like the greater, scheme of things, right? This is falling like pretty bad. It's in a downtrend. Going up would be a counter trade, um, and that also lowers the likelihood of something working out. I'm not saying that counter trades are bad, but with this level of momentum to the downside, there's so many things that happen in the human psychology, right? You get this confirmation bias, right? It's like you people are, they were already like, fearful, and then like one thing can go wrong, while they're already going down, and then it can just create this like ripple effect or this slippery slope effect of them just like falling. So I need more confirmation to the upside before I feel confident, like betting this to the upside, because look at all the opportunities that it gave itself to recover, right? It tried to recover here, went up, and then it wound up coming back down. Recover here, went up, wound up coming back down. It had a failed 2 down right here, a failed 2 down right here, and each time it said, "Forget your failed 2 down, I'm going down." So I can't really honor it to the upside just yet. And also, this is not enough confirmation to take it to the downside either. So again, I would like to see it break the extremes. Like if it can break this low right here, then like I said, if it can break 30, it'll fall to hell. To the upside, if it can, get on the other side of the middle, this mean right here, then we may be in play for a retracement up to here, and then even it retracing up to this area around 37.50. That's still not completely in the clear. You'll be completely in the clear when we get above $41, right? So this is something that you can set an alert for. 41. If it does have a crazy like upside move, you can set it for 41, and then ride the momentum of that. But I don't trust the double bottom on hymns to just to briefly answer your question, because it's tested it multiple times. Like this was supposed to be a double bottom right here. So look at this. Look, sharp fall right here, up. This was supposed to be the double bottom right here. So this, what date was that? That was um yeah, mid-December, right? That was supposed to be the double bottom. That was when everybody thought we was getting a Santa rally, right? They thought we was going to pump in December, and no, it did not happen. So you gotta pay attention to the past. I know you don't do that in real life. You want to forget the past and not live in the past. But when it comes to trading, the past is very important because that's how majority of people are thinking. So because of him having a history of not honoring certain technicals like a double bottom, I need to wait this one out until it gets up there around 41. All right, so that's Hems. All right, and PANW. How y'all feeling out there? Y'all good? Joy, good to see you. How you feeling? All right. Eleanor said hood. All right, you know we gotta look at hood, Eleanor. You know that. Good. Good, Liz. I'm good. Thank you for asking. All right. No, for sure, George. That's what we here for, man. All right. And y'all, if y'all didn't catch everything in this in this live, make sure you go watch it back because there's some really good information, not just about, what you should trade, but how you should trade. All right. All right. Palo Alto Networks. Yeah. Yeah, nothing clear here. Let me look on the weekly. We halfway through the week. So let me see what the weekly is saying. Okay. Okay, so yeah, we are seeing some selling pressure off the middle, the center Bollinger Band. Okay. Yeah, we could see this come down, but again, um, you know, there's nothing here. I want y'all to get clear on this, right? There's nothing here that says yes, swing this. All right. We have a failure of the top side, the upper extreme of the Bollinger Band, but it's coming off of a failed two down, bouncing off the center band, right? So, you know, earlier today, there were some people that were very happy that might have took swings off of the failed 2D. But with this pushing down like that, obviously that means, sellers are stepping in. So there's no clear direction, right? I would like to see what happens tomorrow, to determine that. I know just historically, let's see, was this in November, made a very very strong move down, came up, was trying to form the double bottom here, almost an exact setup like Hims, right? And it failed to push up. So again, this is not something that I necessarily trust to the upside either until this neckline is cleared. So the 200 psychological level on Palo Alto has to be cleared for me to be interested in like swinging this, right? But do write 200 down, y'all, because when it gets above 200, it got you know $20 to go, right? So just write that down somewhere, put it in your notes. Once Palo Alto gets above 200, it is a go. Okay, like obviously, like you want to see a pattern that says that too, but that's going to be the breakout. It's 200. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Yeah, I wouldn't force anything. There's so many stocks in the market that have better setups. This is not one of them. So I wouldn't even worry about this one. I would go look through what I talked about with the stocks earlier, and see if you can pull something out of that. But like I said, buying things like at extremes, right? Extreme highs or extreme lows, or reversals at the center, saying that it wants to go either low or high, are when we want to try to those are the swings that we want to focus on. All right. All right. And you said, man, AMD. Look at AMD. Goodness gracious, 7%. This thing is that thing did so well. All right. Hood. Gotta look at Hood. Okay. Hood is, yeah, Hood had a strong day. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, see I got this trend line drawn here, right? This is I had this here because I wanted to see like, all right, if you know, if Hood were to break this trend line here, then you know it would we would have seen it come down to 101. It looks like it's been holding the trend, right? So we are in this, you know, this short term uptrend on Hood. Overall, it's still this. I guess it could be considered like a pullback. Um, but we are in a short term uptrend right now. So as long as we can hold this level, you will probably see Hood make its way, you know, up into this, you know, 127, 128 area to the top of the Bollinger Band, also in this, you know, this bearish order block. Um, we had a bullish engulfing on, was it Tuesday, yesterday, and then today was a, you know, was a bullish move. Yeah, we could get one more day. We could get another green day tomorrow. Um, if I would have saw this setup yesterday, I would have recommended that we took it yesterday. Because I just love bullish engulfings. You know what I mean? When I see a bullish engulfing, especially if it's like at a level or failing to break below a level, always a good idea to swing that. But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily swing this, but we could definitely have another green day tomorrow on Hood for sure. So I might put this on the watch list, you know, for the day, and check that out. But yeah, it's a cool setup. I wish I would have seen it yesterday. No, for sure, Jackie. All right, man. Look, I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all showing up. Like I said, I'm gonna be here, you know, same time every day, just going over, you know, what happened in the market, what's on the horizon, and seeing if we can catch some plays, you know, before going in. If it's your first time tuning in, welcome. Okay, I appreciate it. If you could like this, you know, share it, and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any more of these valuable videos, right? And you can always know when I'm going live. All right. Also, I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. We got a lot of people in attendance right now that is a part of the Prosperity Collective. All right. So if you're looking for a trading home, family, right, I would highly recommend that you consider joining the Prosperity Collective. All right. Already we've changed hundreds of lives and counting. All right. We are a group that is founded on principles of discipline, right? Realness. And as you can see here on this free platform, we pour our souls and our hearts out every day to make sure that you get what you need to get so that you can be successful. When I first started trading, I didn't have that. Zay was the same way. So he was like, all right, bro, bet. Like, we're gonna do things a little bit differently. We're not trying to scam you out of money. We're not trying to hustle you into another higher tier group. We just like, look, just join the family. Yeah, it's gonna cost a little something, but the value that we give far exceeds that. You're gonna make the money back very quickly if you just commit to yourself and lock in. All right. So you know, with that being said, the link is in the description of all of my videos. I truly appreciate y'all. It's always love over here. And remember, invest smart, live free. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.